ever get annoyed by something that was so little that the moment that you were annoyed by it, you were disappointed in yourself, but you didn't stop being annoyed by it? Good morning to you. Good Friday morning. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports. This is Daily Shot of Penguins, and it comes your way bright and early every weekday. If you're into football and or baseball, I also offer daily shots of Steelers and Pirates that I hope you'll also check out. Kind of a minor bit of news that's going to end up possibly having major implications across the NHL, that Ryan Getzlaf was added to the NHL's player safety department. Now, Getzlaf's not going to be in charge. That's still going to be George Parros, former NHL enforcer / thug, formerly of Washington, PA, just south of the city, I should add, and ongoing blemish to everything that's beautiful about this sport, because he's done nothing to clean it up, and he's done nothing to actually enhance, the thing that's at the top of their door, player safety. So Getzlaf gets added. And, first reaction, oh, that's good. That's good. I mean, Ryan Getzlaf is exactly the kind of player who, when he was playing and starring for the Ducks, you would have wanted to protect. So even though I didn't consider this to be some massive news or whatever, I opened up the press release, and I find this quote from Parros himself. I'm going to read the whole thing to you. "We are thrilled to welcome Ryan as the newest member of our department. His accomplishments on the ice speak for themselves. He won at every level and was widely respected for being a hard-nosed and highly skilled player and effective leader. From his rookie NHL season until his recent retirement, he lived and played through many of the changes our game has seen, which will provide our group with unique and valuable perspective moving forward." Can you guess which part of that got to me? Yeah? Did you hear that? He was widely respected for being a hard-nosed and highly skilled player. Why would you put hard-nosed before highly skilled? Is that, you can't even say that they added a guy who actually knows how to play the game to the department without emphasizing that he was a hard-nosed. And by the way, Getzlaf was hard-nosed. So was Corey Perry, his partner in crime for so many years with the Ducks. And still, what matters is that Getzlaf, who spent his entire career with that franchise, captained the team for 12 years, 17 seasons, 1,157 games, 1,019 points, won a Stanley Cup, the only cup the Ducks have ever won, in 2007. The list is a lot longer than that. Was part of Canadian Olympic gold medal efforts alongside Sidney Crosby. The last time I was covering the Penguins in Anaheim a couple of years ago, after the game, Getzlaf was down there outside the Penguins' room after he'd retired, waiting for Sid. The two of them had a nice long talk. Great players, communicating, Nothing about hard-nosed. You don't look at him, you don't look at his career and think hard-nosed. But this is what's infected this whole league, is this mindset that if you're running that department, or even if you're in that department, the benefit of the doubt always goes to the hard-nosed. That's why Jacob Trouba could get away with borderline murder. Well, he's the one playing the game the right way. He's the one who's hard-nosed. And the guy whose neck he just tried to snap, he's, highly skilled. Tell me, please, that I'm taking this too far. I so very much hesitated to make this the subject today. And I'm like, come on, man, you'll think of something related to the local team. I can't. This stuff drives me nuts. And I swear to you, I don't believe for a split second that it emanates from anyone other than Gary Bettman. Not at its origin point, of course. It's that when Bettman first really started flexing his muscles as commissioner within the league, and he got comfortable, dropped his, NBA background, became more of a hockey guy, he surrounded himself with all of these dinosaurs, these Colin Campbells and Brian Burks, and those are the guys that he let administer this sort of thing. Now, Brendan Shanahan came along, who, by the way, was a hard-nosed and highly skilled forward himself, and Shanahan did play his own part in cleaning the game up. Didn't go nearly far enough, but made progress. Then they went and found somebody's fifth-line enforcer and said, how about you? You do this. Because I'm convinced that at some point or other, early in Bettman's tenure, someone told him that you'll never be able to sell this sport without the rough stuff. You'll never, ever be able to sell it without fighting, which is unfortunately the way a lot of people still think, despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary. Does the crowd get a little bit riled up in a regular season setting when there's a fight? Sure, of course. Same very much applies to Pittsburgh. Do you see fights in the playoffs? Nope. Do you see fights in the Olympics? The highest level of hockey that's ever been played? Nope. And look, I'm not going to turn this into some generalization. I think there are a lot of good things that have happened under Bettman over the last 10 years. I haven't been anywhere near as critical of him as I once was. The main reason for that is that he and the general managers did find a way to get the scoring back up, to get more flow to the game, to get more talent back in the game, more creativity, more fun, more Connor Bedard. And that's had a ripple effect on hockey throughout North America and arguably the world. But you're not going to get rid of the Trouba and Tom Wilson things until Bettman's gone. You're just not. When we come back, J1Q. This episode is brought to you by Bet Online, your number one source for all your summer sports needs this season, from Major League Baseball, golf, NHL, NBA playoffs. Get the latest odds and lines, including all team matchups, player props, odds on just about everything that's out there. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to get in on the action. Bet Online, where the game starts. Today's J1Q comes from Rich, and it's in response to I've been bringing up Noel Acciari in some negative ways, really, for a while now, and I kind of addressed that myself yesterday, saying that I don't mean to suggest that he's terrible or whatever, or that he's singularly responsible for the team missing the playoffs last season. But anyway, Rich's response here is, DK, for what the Penguins are trying to accomplish, Acciari's a square peg in a round hole. I would prefer any number of under 25 guys seizing that opportunity and making him expendable. He'd actually be better suited, I think, to play on a cup contender where his style would benefit that team the most, not on a team that's trending downward, taking ice time away from younger guys who could use it to progress their skill set. You've mentioned that Mike Sullivan loves Acciari. You know who else loves him? Kyle Dubas. Traded for him in Toronto from the Blues, got him back in Pittsburgh. We've seen how loyal Dubas can be to some players. Can you count Acciari into that circle? Well, Rich, there's a lot of different points that you brought up here, and I don't want to bypass one that you made. A team that's trending downward, it's very much your right to believe that, because the best players on the team are getting older when they were already, some of them, old. But for you to take that the team is trending downward and suggest that Dubas incorporated into his thinking would kind of fly in the face of, that whole goal that he has of them not trending downward. That's not the objective here. That's not the outlook. The Penguins are very much hoping to be competitive and contending in the coming season. But, and this is where you and I will hop back onto the same rail, I believe that their road to competing and contending in Sidney Crosby's final years is to have younger, fresher legs. Not because you turn them into some sort of science experiment, but because they would genuinely be more capable of giving you what you need right now. When you look at these players that Dubas has brought in, especially over the summer, the Blake Lizotte, Anthony Beauvillier, now Cody Glass types, they're all in their mid-20s. They've still got whatever speed they've always had. They've got extra motivation to prolong their careers, to overcome disappointing seasons in the cases of Beauvillier and Glass. And then from there, you look at the competition that's created by having 743 people competing for 4 winger spots. And it's going to be intense. By its very nature, by the setup, it's going to be intense. And if there was one adjective that you would almost never apply to the 2023-24 Pittsburgh Penguins, it would be intense. I appreciate the question. I appreciate everybody listening to Daily Shot of Penguins. We'll be back with another one of these on Monday. Have a terrific weekend.